In today's video, we're going to be talking about Jarvis. So that is the artificial intelligence tool that allows you to write better marketing copy. And really, in my opinion, it is not the easy button of like tools where you just give it a topic and it's going to give you a 3,000 word article. That's not how it works as of today of making this video. But what I will say is if I did have this tool when I was doing online dating like 12 years ago, I would have been a lot more effective in online dating. And I'll explain that later in this video in a little bit. But what I want to show you right now is really quickly the plans and pricing, because this does change things. Boss mode is a new feature. Really quickly, what that is basically is it gives you a 2,000 to 3,000 character look back. So what that means is if you're writing a lot of copy, it's able to look back further into the copy so that the copy is more seamless and it doesn't feel real jumbled and kind of clunky. If you're going with the starter package, the downside of that is you have 20,000 words. I will mention I do have a referral link that you can get an extra 10,000 words. So 50% more content in your first month, and you will find that link in the description below. But just because I have a referral link in the description below does not mean this is going to be a puff piece for conversion.ai, also known as Jarvis. So why don't we go into the actual tool itself, because I want to show you some of the things that it lacks. So when you're in the dashboard, it starts out looking like this right here. As I mentioned, this is the give 10,000 credits. So that's where the referral link is for that. But if you're looking at templates, this is where you'd kind of get started. You have your framework, email, website, blog. Each one of these has a bunch of different options underneath it. So I like the way that they laid this out. So if you're somebody who's just doing social media, so you can quickly kind of see the different topics and what this might be good for. If you're somebody who's an actual copywriter, you'll find this more interesting than I would. I'm a digital marketer. I've written blog posts. I've done tons of videos and that kind of content. What I do now is I create educational videos just like this, and that is why I got the tool. But one of the things I wanted to mention here is the feature to benefit. So I've played around with this a little bit. The output I think is decent, and this gives you a good example too of what I'm talking about, of having that third voice that can help you articulate what it is you're trying to say. Now, if you're not familiar with this is one of the most helpful pieces of marketing advice I've ever received, and it's the acronym FAB. Features, advantages, benefits. So what this is doing right now is it's helping you to turn your product features into benefits that compel action. So the way this was explained to me was through a seatbelt. And they said a seatbelt has a feature. It clicks in and it locks you into your seat. So that's the feature of the seatbelt. An advantage of that is if you get into an accident, you keep yourself safely secured in the vehicle. So it helps protect you. But the difference between an advantage and a benefit is something like this. So let's say that you were in an accident and the seatbelt saved your life. So 12 years later, you were able to walk your daughter down the aisle for her wedding. That is very different from saying a seatbelt keeps you safe to you're going to walk your daughter down the aisle at her wedding. All of this is talking about a seatbelt, but you can see how the copy and the way that you position something is going to change it quite a bit. So why don't we try that with this right here? So what I've written here is essentially what I do with a lot of the videos I create. And what I wanted to see is what kind of AI content it can generate. So when I click the button here, and I'm talking through this on purpose because I want you to see how fast this works or how slow this works, so decently quick. So what you're seeing here are features. You'll be able to reach a large number of people, increase your conversion rates by providing educational content. And then there's the emotional benefits. Be seen as an authority in your industry. So you can see like how being an authority in your industry is different from just connecting with customers. And that's tapping into status. So again, you're seeing how this is like a third-party tool that is coming at it from an angle that maybe I wouldn't have considered with this. Actually, I definitely wouldn't have considered that, but that's pretty cool because that might connect with somebody in a different way. Create a better customer experience. I don't think that's good copy. Standard benefits, get customers to buy your products, increase customer loyalty and retention rates. The emotional benefit, build a strong brand presence with consumers who are interested in what you have to offer. That's all right. Standard benefits, increase your brand awareness, generate more leads for your business. Not that exciting. Emotional benefits, keep up to date with industry trends and information, or get the word out about what you're doing in a fun way. So by clicking this one button, honestly, if I'm looking at this, the one that I like is about authority in your industry. Now I'm curious, can I just click this again? And what does this look like? Do I get new output? So you'll never have a boring day again. I don't know about that. Become the expert in your industry. Okay. Keep up to date on everything that's happening in your niche, help customers find the right product for them, provide an experience that is valuable to them. So this right there is help customers find the right product for them. I think I could probably work that in too. And again, you can just sit here and click this and get new ideas. So it's like almost having that podcast producer, right? That is going to feed you information, help the conversation flow, help you kind of get out of your writer's block as you're writing content. So that's pretty neat. Now, what I want to show you right here though is where this can kind of go off the rails. So let's create a new document and we're going to start from scratch. So if you're somebody who is working in an industry that is constantly changing and you're writing content that is based on news stories or something that's very dynamic and fluid, this might not be the best tool for you. And the reason I say that is what you can see on the screen right here is talking about Josh Allen, who's a QB for the Buffalo Bills. He's considered to be, right? Now, if I hit Command J, because I'm on a Mac, in the lower left-hand corner, you can also just click it. This is going to fill this in right here. So you can see that he is considered to be the top QB prospect in the upcoming draft. So he was actually drafted like 3 or 4 seasons ago, and he is now considered to be one of the top players in the NFL. Hopefully, by the time you're watching this video in 5 years, he is the best quarterback in the NFL, but that's just my bias. But you can see how this would not be helpful, right? Somebody's like, why did you just submit this piece of content? Like, he was drafted 3 years ago. This is garbage. So the negative of this is that the tool is pulling the information from the web, and in this particular case, it's just really dated information. Now, why don't I delete this? And recently I did a review on Lumen Dark Circle Defense. That's what you can see here. This is because I get dark circles under my eyes, and I was like, you know what? I want to try to see if I can fix this, and I can do a product review on it. Let's see what happens if I write this in. So this is the sentence that I've written out, actually sentence and a half. So it gives a little bit of context to the tool, the Jarvis, of what we're talking about. I'm gonna hit Command J just to see what it comes up with. So this also helps eliminate with the appearance of puffy eyes and fine lines. The formula contains a blend that focuses on these problems and hopes to reduce them. Ingredients are as follows. So that's pretty darn impressive, right? This is accurately pulling the ingredients, so which I can actually kind of look at right here. Water, glycerine, butylene, water, yep, butylene glycol, I can't say any of these words, but it's pulling correct information there. And it's talking about other benefits of this, not just the dark circles. It's also talking about puffy eyes and fine lines. So that's pretty neat as well. So one of the things too that I like to do with this is like, let's copy this text right here. I like to go to Grammarly here, and this is on their premium service. I can paste this in. It's not giving me any recommendations to improve this copy. So it's saying the copy is good from a grammar standpoint. And if I click the plagiarism check here, it says that it looks like 100% of this text is original. So according to Grammarly, it's great as far as the copy goes, and there's no plagiarism either. I have checked this at least 10 different times doing the plagiarism check on here, and I've never had an issue. Occasionally I'll highlight like one sentence because it's more just something that you would commonly say, but I've never had any issues with plagiarism on Jarvis. So going back to the templates here, I do want to get to the online dating story and how I think this tool could have helped, but I just wanted to do a quick kind of scroll down. If you are on the all feature, you can see all of the different types of ways that this tool can help you, whether it be a blog post outline or Google ad headlines. You can even get into Amazon product descriptions. To their credit, they've thought of a lot of different ways that you can use marketing copy and the way that this tool could work to help do that. But I want to go into the personal bio, and I want to create one that captures attention. So I already have one that was written in here. I did this for, if I was trying to use this for LinkedIn, I just want to show you what that looks like. So this is what I do is create these educational videos, but this is kind of neat. The best part of my day is when I meet someone who has been positively influenced by one of my videos. In the morning, I like to drink coffee while reading a book on entrepreneurship. In the afternoon, I usually work out before grabbing lunch with friends or family. And at night, that's time for me to do something creative. So I wouldn't use that part of it, but I do like the first sentence there. And you can see how it's kind of guessing, right? But it actually did hit on something. Like, I love when people make good comments on my videos where they're like, hey, this was super helpful. I've had content that has helped people that are stranded in their car get back on the road. Like, those are my favorite comments that I get, is seeing that stuff. So I'm like, oh, I didn't even think of that. Like, that is something that I would include with this. So that's neat. Now, let's say this was for a dating site. I'm going to write up some quick copy and see how it might be able to help me write something that's more persuasive. So, you know what? If I was me, I wouldn't want to date this guy either. It'd be like, cool, you're tall and you like sports and you like eating. Cool, Eric. So let's see what Jarvis can come up with if I was to kind of position it through the tool and be able to come up with something a little more thoughtful. I'm a tall guy who likes to play sports and go out with dinner with friends. I enjoy reading books and having thoughtful conversations. Sometimes people laugh at me because of how tall I am, but that doesn't bother me much. That is not true. That stuff does bother me. But I do like the way that it changed this up a little bit, because it's like, I like to go out to dinner with friends. So I said I like to go to restaurants. Is that some lonely dude by himself? This is somebody who has friends. I like making people laugh too, even though sometimes it's just because they feel sorry for me being so tall. This tool is being rude. Hi, I'm Eric. I'm a tall guy who likes to play sports and go to restaurants, and enjoy reading books and having thoughtful conversations with people about anything, really. One of my favorite things is making people laugh. What a nice guy. I would date this guy. The reason I kind of wanted to go through this silly exercise is to highlight a point with the tool. The tool is not biased. It doesn't have all of your lenses and filters that you have developed through the years and the way that you view the world. And when I was doing online dating about 12 years ago, before I met my wife, Match.com and I think eHarmony, which dates myself. This was before everyone just swiped left or right. I don't know which direction's good or bad. But what I found from that experience was that when I met people that I was dating, they would always say the same thing. They're like, oh, you're in a lot better shape than I thought you'd be. And I'd be like, like, why is that? And the reason for that is I had such a self-deprecating style in the way that I would write my profile. I'd write like stuff like, well, you're never going to wash your clothes on my six-pack abs, but I try to go to the gym, And I was so self-deprecating that I was creating this visual of this out-of-shape guy that somebody was going to meet. Now, granted, this was 12 years ago and I was a lot better shape than I am now, but I realized something about myself is that a lot of people were actually kind of positioning themselves to be better than they were with their online dating profile, and I was positioning myself worse than I actually was. Now, is that nice for the person when they meet me and they're like, oh, this guy's actually in pretty good shape and he's got a great job and he's funny and he's friendly? Yeah, that's great for that situation. But what I believe was happening was I was actually limiting my options because I was so self-deprecating in my copy. So that's why it's so nice having something that's unbiased and doesn't have all of your jacked up stuff in your head that you have. I'm talking about me. And it would be able to allow me to write in a way that is actually compelling, that somebody would be like, hey, this guy goes out to dinner with friends. He's not saying, well, I'm kind of fat and stupid, but do you want to get coffee sometime? Kind of a weird tangent there. Just kind of a humorous way to talk about the fact that this tool doesn't have your view of the world, right? It is an unbiased view and is going to help you kind of go through things. So the last thing that I want to talk about is I recently watched a video from Gary Vaynerchuk, and I kind of go in and out of love with his content because sometimes you're like, it's too much or whatever, it's redundant. But he had this new piece of content where he was talking about embracing new things, and he was specifically talking about NFT tokens, I think it was, because he's really big into cryptocurrency as I'm making this video. But he really just started ripping people who are so afraid to try out new things. And it made me think of this tool because I was like that, because I'm like, I don't know, like I'm tired of being sold things, that kind of thing. But this tool already in the first month has helped me write a script that I turned into a video. And like I said, it's not the easy button. It didn't just give me a whole script. I had to write it, but we kind of just jived back and forth. And then from that, I've already earned income from that script. And I'm like, I don't think I would have actually produced that video because it's just been rattling around in my head, and having this tool really helped me kind of just pull it out of myself. So again, thank you for using my link in the description below, as you can get 50% more content written on the starter plan in the first month. And that Gary V video I was talking about is right there. And I think you guys will really enjoy that, and let me know in the comments below. I love reading them. All right, guys, I'll catch you in that next video.